Hello, my friends. Good evening. Good evening to you all. It is a pleasure to be back for a new live stream. And it's always so wonderful to see my friends tuning in. As soon as I start a live stream and I see the names of my friends popping up in the live chat, I see my friends saying hello, my friends saying good evening, my friends saying MAGA, my friends saying TTTT, which is Tausif Tells the Truth. It feels so great. And that is what keeps me energized. That is what makes me want to do more and more and more live streams. So I can see Steve is here. I can see Frank is here. I can see Richard is here. I can see Salerno is here. And I know that more of our friends will be joining very soon. We can do a countdown. We can do a countdown, a 10-second countdown. And I know we'll have more of our friends joining us. So I'm going to get started in just a few moments. And today's topic is very, very interesting. And I'm sure you've seen the title already. And I know you're excited. I know you're looking forward to this discussion, because I know that you not only want to listen to what I have to say, but you also have your own opinions that you formed that you want to share in the live chat. So the more of our friends join, the better. So breaking news. I don't know how I'm gonna say this. It's just a very, very interesting feeling. President Donald J. Trump is going to be having a meeting with New York City's mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. That's right. There's going to be a meeting between Donald J. Trump, the 45th president, who's also the 47th president, and New York City's mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Now, some of you may be saying, oh, he's the mayor. He's Mayor Mamdani. No, he's not the mayor yet, okay? I got to point out, you have to pay attention to the details. Zohran Mamdani is going to be the mayor once he is sworn in, once he formally takes the oath of office, okay? That's when Mamdani will become the mayor. Right now, the mayor is a man named Eric Adams. Anyone heard about Eric Adams? We've talked about Eric Adams probably, I don't know, a million times maybe on this channel. So Mamdani is sort of in a transition right now. He is mayor-elect, not mayor yet. Now, some of you, you're going to say, Tausif, we don't believe you. We don't. Tausif, what's wrong with you? You're starting this live stream at 11:30 p.m. Okay. Sleepy. You're probably already dreaming. You're saying President Trump is going to have a meeting with Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. What's wrong with you, Tausif? That cannot be true. That cannot be right. You're making this up. There's no way this is real. You're making this up, Tausif. Now, you can say that all you want. But as I've said before, my goal is to present the truth. My goal on this channel is always to give you accurate information. And so I'm telling you, this is real. This is gonna happen. President Trump is going to be meeting with Zohran Mamdani. And I know our friends are here. Let's see. Who do we have here? A lot of our friends. Bill is here from Vegas. Bill, good to see you. We got so many others, so many names popping up today. That's wonderful. Always great to see our friends. Please make sure you like this video if you're tuning in. You gotta hit the like button, my friends. Support this channel. So take a deep breath, calm down, and listen to me again. I'm telling you, President Trump and Zoran Mamdani, they are going to have a meeting, and the meeting is going to be taking place. Do you know where? Where is this meeting going to take place? The answer is so obvious. I can't believe I'm asking you this question, but I am. Guess the location of this meeting. It's going to be taking place in the White House. Exactly, in the White House. My friends, President Trump, the Oval Office, President Trump, he himself made an announcement on social media. He wrote on Truth Social, and I'm going to read to you the exact words written by President Donald J. Trump, okay, who is the greatest president ever. He wrote, and I quote, "Communist Mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani, has asked for a meeting. We have agreed that this meeting will take place at the Oval Office on Friday, November 21st. Further details to follow." End quote. That's right. President Trump, he himself made the announcement on Truth Social. This is the truth. This meeting is going to be happening. November 21st, it's coming up. It's this week. It's not November 21st of next year. It's November 21st. This week, it's coming up. Not next week, this week. And so now, what we have to do is wait for the details. But it's so difficult. When you hear something like this, and you have to wait to find out more, it is difficult. People get really impatient. Like, I want to know more. I want to know more. What is going on? What's the meeting agenda? Is it just an introductory meeting? Is it meet and greet? Are they going to be talking about things? Is there an agenda, a list of items that they will be discussing? What is going on, and who else will be at the meeting? Is Zoran Mamdani going to be bringing a delegation? Will there be, like, 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 other people with him? And who is President Trump going to have from the White House at the meeting? Is there going to be a cabinet member present? Yes, of course. Of course, I think so. I think President Trump is going to have a team. I think Zoran Mamdani is going to have a team. So that's just my guess. That's just my guess. I know we have a lot of questions, and we're looking for answers regarding this meeting. Now, Zoran Mamdani has asked for this meeting. This is a crucial detail that you must all know. As President Trump said, Zoran Mamdani asked for the meeting. Now, the question is, what is he looking to accomplish? He has something in mind. If Mamdani is asking for the meeting, which he is, what does he have in mind? What does he want to talk about? Does he want to talk about immigration enforcement? Does he want to talk about housing? Does he want to talk about energy, transportation maybe? I don't know. Or maybe all of the above, everything that I just mentioned, and maybe more. So, President Trump said yes to the meeting, and it's happening on Friday. That's right, on Friday. So before you go into the weekend, let's say you got plans for Saturday. You know what you're doing this weekend? You're going to be meeting with your friends. You're going to be hanging out with your family. You're going to go out, do something fun, whatever plans you have. Before you get to your plans, you're going to know what happened during the meeting, because it's going to be on Friday before we get to Saturday. So I'm going to analyze this. So my friends, I want you all to stay here with me. It's going to be an interesting analysis, I think. I have a lot to say. Don't go anywhere, and make sure that you're liking the video, and also hit the subscribe button, my friends. That's how you support this channel. So my friends, you can tell me, as I present my analysis, you can tell me, Tausif, your analysis is good. Or you can say, Tausif, I listen to you, but what you're saying is wrong. I don't agree. Here's my analysis. Then you can present yours. But I'm gonna share with you what I have in mind, what I think is going on. So number one, Zohran Mamdani loves power. He wants to be powerful. Okay, I think he enjoys that. That's all right. And now, after winning the election, the mayoral race, Mamdani does have a lot of power. To be the mayor of New York City, which he officially is not yet, but he will be in just a few weeks after he gets sworn in. He will be officially the mayor of New York City. Now, that is a very, very powerful position. Okay? I mean, there are states that have less population than the city of New York. Okay? Yeah, you gotta look at the numbers. There are states with smaller population compared to the population of the city of New York. So being the mayor of New York, it is a very, very powerful position. And Zohran Mamdani made a lot of not so realistic and not so financially feasible promises as he campaigned. He talked about freezing the rent. He talked about free buses and free childcare and so on and so forth. So these are things that are not very realistic. These are things that are, you know, if somebody wants to implement these policies, it's not going to be financially feasible. But Zohran Mamdani made these promises. And we know that his campaign and that mayoral race in general divided people. There were people strongly in support of Zohran Mamdani, and there were those who were strongly against. And even among the Democrats, you saw a split. You saw people supporting Mamdani. You saw people supporting that guy. What's his name? Andrew Cuomo. Okay, failed politician Andrew Cuomo. But now that Zohran Mamdani is elected, I think he's trying to find a way to be a bit more bipartisan. Okay? Because I think Zohran Mamdani understands that now that he has secured a 4-year term, which is one mayoral term, 4 years, right? Now that he has secured a 4-year term, which he has not started yet because he is officially not sworn in yet. Now that he is elected, he is going to try to develop, I believe, more of a statesman personality. Okay? I think we're going to be seeing a transformation. All these months he was campaigning. He was in the campaign mode. He said a lot of things that made people cheer. He said a lot of things that made people say, there's no way I'm supporting this guy. So people were divided when Zohran was campaigning. But now that he's going to be sworn in, I think he's trying to develop more of a statesman personality. I think he's trying to send a message to the people that, oh, he's a statesman. He's an elected official. All right. Interesting. And I think he's trying to transform himself and his image quite rapidly while trying to keep his base happy. I'm going to be talking more about this. He's trying to make sure that people who have campaigned for him, people who have volunteered for him, people who voted for him, he's trying to keep them happy. He's trying to make sure that he keeps his base solid. And then Mamdani is trying to create a gateway to reach out to those who did not vote for him. Those who perhaps voted for Curtis Sliwa, and also those who perhaps voted for Andrew Cuomo. And I think it's a very, very interesting strategy, and I'll tell you more about this. I mean, you got to think about this. When people are going to find out that Zoran Mamdani is going to be meeting with President Donald J. Trump, how are they going to react? I think, by the way, Edwin, good to see you. We got friends here. We got friends who are tuning in. Always happy to welcome our friends. I'm sorry I don't get to mention everyone's name, but you know who you are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Edwin, who else is here? Who else is here? Just say hello. Right, Maga? Steve says hello. Hey, Steve. All right. So when people find out that Zoran Mamdani is going to be meeting with President Donald J. Trump, Zoran's supporters are going to see this, are going to see that this is a move that shows power. Zoran, as I said probably a million times already, Zoran is officially not the mayor yet. And still, he's going to be meeting with President Donald J. Trump, being a mayor-elect. Now, Mamdani could have waited until his swearing in. He could have said, all right, I'm going to be sworn in. I'm going to officially be the mayor. And then I'm going to reach out to the White House for a meeting. He did not wait until the new year. He reached out. He asked for a meeting while he's still the mayor-elect. Now, this move is a show of power. Okay? I mean, the mayor, who's still the mayor? Eric Adams. And no one's talking about Eric Adams. So this might be a strategy to depict power, to show I'm in charge. I won, I'm in charge. Something like, hey, I'm the new mayor. And yes, I will go and meet with the President of the United States in the Oval Office because I'm the mayor-elect. So Zoran's supporters are going to see this move as something that signifies power. On the other hand, those who opposed Zoran Mamdani, those who said before the election, there's no way we're going to vote for this guy, no way, he's a communist, not going to vote for him, did not vote for him, those people, when they find out that Zoran's going to meet with Donald Trump, they're going to say, wait a second, why is Mamdani himself reaching out to the White House and asking for a meeting? What is this about? What is this about? Is he now softening his communist stance? And is he now going to be looking for common ground? Is he now trying to build a bridge, a political bridge to reach across the aisle? To have a conversation with the leader of the Republican Party? To have a conversation with the Republican president in charge? So those who opposed Mamdani during the election season, they might also be very interested. They might be like, okay, we're going to have to watch what happens. What is Mamdani really trying to do? So Mamdani's base, his voters, his supporters are going to see this as a move that signifies power. And those who oppose Mamdani, they're going to see that this raises question marks like, what is Mamdani trying to do? Is he trying to take a more bipartisan approach now that he's elected? So I'm going to tell you one thing. This is a very, very clever move by Zoran Mamdani. I did not see this coming. I didn't see that this would be happening, to be honest with you. Okay, not at this stage. Maybe after Mamdani would officially be sworn in, then of course, there are reasons why a mayor of such a large city, one of the biggest cities in America, a mayor of a large city might need to meet with the president, keeping political affiliations aside. But while still he is the mayor-elect, while he is still going through transition of power, he's going to the White House to meet with the president. This is a very, very clever strategy by Zoran Mamdani. I got to tell you that. I don't think anyone's going to be upset by this. I don't think his opponents are going to be upset. I don't think his supporters are going to be upset. Zoran's supporters are going to be fine with this. And his opponents are also going to be saying, okay, let's see what happens. So this is a winning move by Zoran. Okay? One might have thought, seeing what an extreme communist Mamdani is, one might have thought that he is never going to reach out to Donald Trump. But Mamdani surprised everyone. People are surprised. I'm surprised that Mamdani asked for a meeting, as reported by President Trump. And the fact that President Trump said yes to the meeting, that is also quite significant. And I think it's great. I think it's great, okay, that President Trump said, all right, I'm going to meet with this guy. I mean, President Trump is someone who is always open to dialogue. He's always willing to meet. He's always willing to talk to people. Doesn't matter what political affiliation. He never closes the door on anyone. He's okay with meeting people unless there's sufficient reason to close the door and to say, I met with you once, I'm never going to meet with you again. Nothing's going to work out, sorry. Unless things reach that point, there's no reason to not meet. And it all depends on how the first meeting goes. I mean, this first meeting is going to be very, very important. And this might help us understand if there will ever be a second meeting, or is it just going to be, okay, we had a meeting, not a great one. We didn't agree on things. There's no way that we're going to be able to work together. So that's it. Thank you. Goodbye. We'll wait and see. Now, you might remember Volodymyr Zelensky, the leader of Ukraine, when Zelensky, a few months ago, I mean, he has visited the White House more than once this year. But I think it was the first meeting that Zelensky had with President Trump after President Trump got officially sworn in for his second term. Zelensky visited the White House. This was months ago. And that meeting abruptly ended. You know why? Because Zelensky behaved quite rudely. And the cameras were rolling, the reporters, they were watching, the world was watching. It was being live streamed, the meeting in the White House. President Trump was there, Zelensky was there, President Trump's cabinet members were there, Zelensky had his team. And on camera, and I've talked about this before, on camera, the world's watching, Zelensky behaves quite rudely. And anyway, things got a little heated. President Trump responded in a very, firm voice. And anyway, that meeting abruptly ended. It was not productive. But you know what? That did not stop further dialogue. President Trump met with Zelensky again, and Zelensky came to the White House again. So one bad meeting, not so great meeting, one unproductive meeting did not close the dialogue. One meeting didn't go well, further meetings happened. So President Trump, I mean, he's a man who forgives, clearly. Who forgives, okay? That's a great quality in a leader, to be able to forgive people. Like, okay, you were not so nice, but I'm going to forgive you. Let's move on. He does that. He's very kind. So the meeting with Zoran Mamdani, President Trump did not say no. He's going to meet. In fact, you remember, President Trump met with Kim Jong-un. Not once, more than once, met with Kim Jong-un. And North Korea is, if you make a list of adversaries, if you make a list of countries that are in our adversary list, then North Korea is right up there. And even that did not stop President Trump from meeting with Kim Jong-un, from having a dialogue with Kim Jong-un. In fact, President Trump stepped into North Korea with Kim Jong-un. They walked into North Korea together. Remember that? That is something I will never, ever forget. I will never forget. That was such a significant moment in global history. A U.S. president, a sitting U.S. president, walking into North Korea. Do you think anyone else could have done that? Any other president? No other president did it. I don't think anyone can. It's because Trump is Trump. He did that. He had a nice greeting with Kim Jong-un at the DMZ, demilitarized zone. I guess that's the full form. And President Trump went from South Korea, walked into North Korea. And I can remember the cameras, click, 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 click. I mean, those who watched that moment in person, those who were there physically present, and they saw this with their own eyes, it was an experience like no other. I mean, this is like unique. You cannot compare this with anything else in world history, in modern history. Okay, we're not going to go back like thousands of years ago, but in modern history, I mean, look at the last 100 years. Nothing like this. President Trump walking into North Korea. Anyway, people can draw their own conclusions. I share what I share. So yeah, if President Trump can meet with Kim Jong-un, if he can walk into North Korea with Kim Jong-un, of course, President Trump is open to dialogue with other people, other leaders from other countries, as well as people from the Democrat Party. Okay, yeah, Mamdani is a communist, but if Mamdani wants to meet with President Trump, President Trump's going to meet. He's going to say, yes, all right, I'm gonna listen to what you have to say. And that's a great quality in Donald Trump, and it should be a quality in every leader, I think, because it's very easy to say no. If you say no, that's it. No further conversation, no further dialogue, no further progress. There's somebody who you absolutely do not like, maybe because of political differences, because of, personal history of, not so friendly interactions in the past, whatever the differences may be. But if the person wants to meet with you, It's good to say yes. All right, okay, we've had our differences in the past. We've exchanged angry words, whatever it may be, but you want to meet with me, you have something to say. All right, let's sit down. Let's see what you want to say. Let's see if we can resolve the differences, if we can find common ground. So I appreciate President Trump saying, yes, all right, we're going to meet. And this is going to be one of the most watched meetings, okay? And I'm going to say that, but I'll also add a side note that we don't know if there will be cameras in the room, if press will be allowed during this meeting between Donald Trump and Zoran Mamdani, if the two elected officials, President Trump and Zoran Mamdani, if they are going to be sitting next to each other, facing the cameras, if they are both going to be delivering remarks, if they will be taking questions from the reporters. We don't know anything yet, okay? President Trump clearly wrote further details to follow, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Maybe it'll just be a closed door meeting. Quite likely, can happen. Maybe we'll just find out, all right, Zoran Mamdani has arrived at the White House. Maybe he'll wave to the cameras or whatever. And then he's going to go in and it's going to be a closed door meeting. No media, no press, nothing. That's likely too. Maybe after the meeting, President Trump will issue a statement. Maybe Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani will issue a statement. I don't know. I have no idea what kind of a meeting this is going to be, but I know this meeting is going to be taking place because President Trump announced it on Truth Social. He said further details to follow. So November 21st, Friday, which is when this meeting is going to be taking place, it's going to be before Thanksgiving, before we get to the weekend, lots of anticipation. But we have to wait and see what happens. My friends, just a few days ago, and this was on November 16th, Zoran Mamdani posted on X, and he accused the Trump administration of raising costs on Americans. Mamdani accused the Trump administration of raising costs on Americans. So that was not a friendly social media post. And now, the same Mamdani is going to be meeting with Donald Trump in the White House. But here's something that I must highlight. Things are going to get very interesting. Things are going to get very interesting. So stay here with me. But before I get to the next part of the discussion, my friends, I just want to pause for a second, and I want to ask you all to please subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, share the video. Send a link to this video to your friends, your family members, and your neighbors. Tell them, hey, I found this awesome channel on YouTube. It's a channel where Tassif discusses social and political issues, both domestic and international. It's a great channel, great discussion. We participate in the live chat. We answer poll questions, so please check it out. Subscribe if you want to. That's how you can support this channel, my friend. So go ahead, do it. Subscribe. Hit the like button. And share the video with your friends, family members, and your neighbors. So, my friends, let's go to the next part of the conversation. Here's something that I'm going to be highlighting because it is so very interesting. Give me a second here. So very interesting. We have to look beyond the obvious. And that's a good thing to do pretty much in general in life. You know, there are things that we see, things that we hear, but you sometimes have to look beyond the visible. You have to look beyond the obvious. You have to try to understand the intentions behind the decisions that people make. Zoran Mamdani is trying to do something that I believe is quite ambitious. And trust me, this part of the discussion is going to be very interesting. So stay here with me, and I want to get your reactions as I'm speaking. My friends, Zoran Mamdani is trying to do what he's trying to do. It's a strategy that is going to put many other socialists behind him. Zoran Mamdani is trying to gain some advantage that is going to put him way ahead of other socialists, including those who supported him. My friends, believe me when I say that. So AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, we're going to talk about her. She is a socialist. She calls herself Democratic Socialist. So does Mamdani, same thing, Democratic Socialist. AOC has been in office for a while. But do you think AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, also from New York, do you think AOC ever reached out to the White House to say, hey, I'd like to come for a meeting with the president. I'd like to meet with the president in the Oval Office. Is he available? When can I come in? What's going to be a good day and time for a meeting? Do you think AOC ever reached out to the White House? Do you think she ever reached out to President Trump to say, Mr. President, let's have a meeting? No, I don't know the answer. But if you want me to make a guess, I would say probably not. Probably not. Did AOC ever reach out to the White House to ask for a meeting with the president? Probably not. Now, I may be wrong, but I'm just telling you what I think. I'm making a guess. Now, let's talk about Bernie Sanders. He's the senior guy, also socialist. Do you think Bernie Sanders ever do you think he ever reached out to the White House to say, Mr. President, President Trump, I'd like to have a meeting. Are you available? Can we meet? Can we have a conversation? I know we have political differences, but let's have a dialogue. Let's talk. Let's see what happens. Do you think Bernie Sanders ever did that? Tell me. Answer my question in the live chat. If you want me to make a guess once again, I'll say probably not. I mean, it's one thing to say that, oh yeah, I'll talk to the White House, or I'll talk to the president, I'll talk to Trump, I'll talk to the Trump administration if they want to talk. People can say that. People can say that. Democrats can say, oh yeah, okay, if Trump wants to talk, I'll talk to him. But it's a different thing to actually pick up the phone, or to send an email, or to send a letter, whatever. I don't know how Zoran Mamdani contacted the White House. Did he pick up the phone and call? Did he send a handwritten letter? Did he send an email? Did he send a text message to someone in the Trump administration? I don't know what method he used to reach out, but he reached out. He asked for a meeting. I don't know what words he used, but he definitely asked for a meeting. He requested a meeting, and he's going to get it. Which I think AOC perhaps never did. Perhaps, I'm not sure. That's why I'm saying perhaps. Perhaps AOC never did that. Perhaps Bernie Sanders never did that. Do you think Pramila Jayapal from Washington State. Do you think Pramila Jayapal did she ever reach out to the White House to ask for a meeting with the president? If you ask me to make a guess once again, I'll say probably not. But Zoran has requested a meeting, and by doing that, of course, Zoran Mamdani has shown that he understands and respects the authority of Donald Trump. Mamdani is basically acknowledging the fact that the president is very powerful. In a way, he is showing respect towards the power that the president has. And also, by asking for a meeting, Zoran Mamdani is showing his political skill. He's putting his ego aside, which many people in politics, they can't do. You know, it's a reality. In politics, once people get a lot of power, it's hard for them to put their egos aside and to you know, be a little humble. Okay, when you look at the Democrat Party, what do you see? What do you see when you look at the Democrat Party politicians? You see a lot of arrogance. You look at the Democrat Party, you look at the congressmen from the Democrat Party. What do you see? A lot of arrogance. I mean, you got to look at Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, this guy, Hakeem Jeffries, he's not the Speaker of the House, but yet he acts like one. I mean, just the opposite. You look at Mike Johnson, Republican Mike Johnson. He is the Speaker of the House, and yet he is so humble. He's so down to earth. He's simple. He's a brilliant man. He's very intelligent, and yet he is very simple, kind-hearted, down to earth. And on the other hand, you got Hakeem Jeffries, not the Speaker of the House, and yet he acts like one. So arrogant. Look at Chuck Schumer. So arrogant. Look at AOC. So arrogant. Look at Nancy Pelosi, who is retiring, not running for re-election. Nancy Pelosi, very, very arrogant. And you know what? Too much arrogance diminishes a person's wisdom. The more arrogance a person is, the less wisdom the person has. It's an inverse relationship, because arrogance diminishes wisdom. Remember that. Arrogance diminishes wisdom. But this guy, Zoran Mamdani, he's taking a different route. And you know what's going to happen? Here's the interesting part. Among the Democrats, Zoran Mamdani is going to gain more popularity than AOC and Bernie Sanders. In fact, Zoran Mamdani may end up being, among the Democrats, he may end up being more popular than AOC and Bernie Sanders combined. That's right. I mean, if AOC thinks that she's very popular, she's very powerful among the Democrats, if AOC thinks that she is going to primary Chuck Schumer in 2028, guess what? That plan may not work out. If AOC wants to compete against Chuck Schumer from the same party, if she wants to primary Chuck Schumer, and if she wants to win that nomination, if she wants to run in that Senate election that's coming up soon in New York, that plan may not work out. It may be Zoran Mamdani primarying Chuck Schumer. That's right. It's probably a crazy theory I'm giving you. Not a theory, possibility, whatever you want to call it. But it may end up happening. If AOC is feeling too comfortable, given her social media followers, and given her position as a member of Congress, if AOC thinks, oh, she's achieved a lot, and the next step is for her to win a Senate race in New York, guess what? Guess what? It may not happen. It may be Zoran Mamdani gaining a lot more popularity than AOC, and he may be the one primarying Chuck Schumer. And there may come a time when AOC may feel betrayed. AOC endorsed Zoran Mamdani. AOC campaigned for Zoran Mamdani. But Mamdani might be the one gaining more popularity among the Democrats, even more popularity than AOC, and he may reach a point that he ends up gaining more power than AOC, and he ends up defeating Chuck Schumer in the Senate primary. And AOC might be like, oh my God, what just happened? I endorsed this guy, and he became more popular than me. Oh my God, I didn't see this coming. It may end up happening. If AOC thinks that, oh, she's in a very, very comfortable position, she has climbed the ladder of popularity, you know what? At the rate that Zoran Mamdani is becoming popular among the Democrats, he may become a lot more popular than AOC, and he may end up taking Chuck Schumer's Senate seat. And AOC is going to be like, what just happened? I thought it was going to be me. What just happened? I mean, really, do you think it's a crazy theory that I'm presenting to you? Do you think it's unrealistic? Do you think it's not going to happen? Tell me, share with me your thoughts, my friends. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, my friends. Liz is here. Hello, Liz. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, Liz. Do you agree with me? Go ahead, tell me. Go ahead, share with me your thoughts. Terry Gilly is here. Terry Gilly, thank you so very much. Always wonderful to see our friend Terry Gilly. So AOC might be facing some real political shock. Okay? I mean, at some point, AOC might regret endorsing Mamdani when she finds out, possibly in the future, that Mamdani is a whole lot more popular among the Democrats than AOC, and AOC is going to be feeling like left out. And she's going to say to herself, perhaps, oh, I endorsed this guy once upon a time when he was running for mayor. And I was in Congress. He was running for mayor. I supported him. And now he's more popular than me. Isn't that going to be interesting? Isn't that going to be interesting? My friends, the Democrats are going to have such civil war within their party. It's like, it's going to be from multi angles. It's going to be the socialists of the Democrat Party versus the establishment people of the Democrat Party. And there'll be a few moderates who are going to be lost in the middle. And then at some point, you're probably going to see even the socialists within the Democrat Party split. At some point in the not so distant future, you might see a rivalry between Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Zoran Mamdani. At some point, there might be jealousy. AOC might say, Oh, I supported this guy once upon a time, but he's now becoming more popular. Oh my God, I didn't see this coming. And what's going to happen then? AOC versus Mamdani. Rivalry, intense rivalry. Do you think it's unlikely? Do you think whatever I'm saying is just a theory with no basis in reality? Tell me, share with me your honest opinions. Go ahead. Go ahead. My friends, politics is such a thing, you never know what's going to happen. Never know what's going to happen. And I can tell you one thing very, very confidently. If there is an election in which it's AOC versus Mamdani, Mamdani is going to win in a landslide. Okay? And I think quite soon AOC will figure that out. And she's going to regret supporting Mamdani and endorsing Mamdani. Okay? Salerno, do you agree with me? Do you think whatever I'm saying is something that might happen? Something that you can't disregard outright? Salerno, you agree with me, right? I'm not ignoring anyone. I think some folks are complaining. He's just ignoring us. I'm not ignoring anyone. I cannot possibly read all the comments, all right? It's just not possible. Too many comments. I'm not ignoring anyone. All right, let's see. Go ahead, my friend, subscribe. No, I'm not streaming on multiple platforms, all right? I'm just streaming on YouTube. That's it. Not multiple platforms. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second, my friends. Okay, so politics, as I was saying, politics is such a thing. You never know what's going to happen. Friends today may be rivals tomorrow. Okay. And so AOC should open her eyes and see that the political power that she craves is going to be taken away by Mamdani very easily if he wants. Very easily. Okay? So that's what I think is happening. That's what I think is possible going forward. And it's just very interesting, everything. All right. Let's see. Hold on a second. My friends, ask me questions. I've spoken for close to an hour. So now you can ask me questions. You can share your thoughts with me. And I try to read all the comments, but I can't possibly do it because there are too many comments here. Ray is asking, what do you think about ICE? Okay. Ray, I'm going to give you a very simple answer. Now, I can give you a very long answer to your question, Ray. I can be here for, 45 minutes just talking about ICE. But I'm going to keep it very simple because I know sometimes people want straightforward answers. So your question is, what do you think about ICE? I'm going to give you a very simple answer. I support ICE. I love ICE. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They're brave and we support them. We want the enforcement of our nation's immigration laws. We want a secure border. We want mass deportation. So if you're asking me, what do you think about ICE? I support ICE. I always have, I always will. They're brave, and we got an amazing border czar. Remember his name, Tom Homan. A hardworking man, brave, and an awesome border czar. All right, did I answer your question, Ray? Did I answer your question? I hope I did. If you have more questions, let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the live chat. Ask whatever you want. I'll try to answer. Go ahead. Send me your questions. Salerno is saying, I support ICE. Tom is doing a good job. Yeah, Tom Homan doing great. Ask me meaningful questions and ask me questions maybe pertaining to the upcoming Trump-MAMDANI meeting. Let's maybe stay on topic, but you can ask me anything. By the way, I know some folks want to find out more about me. So what I'm going to do is I will give you my website address. You can visit my website. And I'm going to give you my email address also. If you wish to send me an email, you can do so quite easily. I've written my website address and my email address, and I've pinned the message to the top of the chat screen, so you can look at that. Someone's asking, what is this chat? Well, this is a chat where we discuss social and political issues, both domestic and international. Yeah, we We always support dialogue. We support exchange of information. We support just a place where people can share their views. So I can tell you the Democrat Party is in a very difficult situation. As much as they try to pretend that they are strong going into the midterm election of 2026, the Democrat Party is actually very weak. The Democrat Party is fragile. The Democrat Party is so divided. There are so many divisions within the party. They don't know what is going on. They don't know who's in charge. Can you point out one Democrat who you might be able to say, oh, this is the man or this is the woman who's in charge of the Democrat Party? Does the party have a leader, a designated leader? There is not. There is not. Do you think Chuck Schumer is the leader of the Democrat Party? He's not. Do you think Hakeem Jeffries is the leader of the Democrat Party? He is not. Do you think Pete Buttigieg is the leader of the Democrat Party? He is not. Do you think it's J.B. Pritzker? I'm sure he would probably like to be the leader of the Democrat Party, but he's not. Do you think it's Gavin Newsom? We can see Gavin Newsom desperately trying to make himself known to a larger number of people. He's got this podcast. He's got, all the social media posts that he sends out. He's trying to be, more popular in spite of all the horrible record that he has about, governance. He's a failed governor. Like, his performance is horrible as the governor of California. And yet, he's trying to raise his profile, trying to be more popular. But do you think he's the leader of the Democrat Party? He's not. Do you think AOC is the leader of the Democrat Party? He's not. Do you think it's Bernie Sanders? It's not. Do you think it's Elizabeth Warren, the leader of the Democrat Party? She's not. Who is it? Josh Shapiro? No. Andy Bashir? No. Who is it? So if the Democrats don't have a leader, then how are they a strong party? They're not. The Democrats are going to be facing tremendous losses in the 2026 midterm. There's no leader. DSAR is here. Hi, DSAR. Good to see you. All right, let's see. Okay, Ray is asking, they still have a broad base of support. You really think so, Ray? Ray, you are entitled to your opinion. You have every right to believe what you want to believe. You want to draw a conclusion and say that they have a broad base of support? I don't think so. Have you seen the results of the 2024 presidential election? Do you remember the results? Do you know who won the Electoral College vote? Obviously, Donald J. Trump, not Kamala Harris. But on top of that, do you remember who won the popular vote? The Democrats are always, feeling a little proud that they win the popular vote. Not anymore. Donald Trump won the popular vote, not Kamala Harris. So this was a landslide victory, and President Trump is fulfilling the promises that he made to the American people. He is winning, winning, winning. Is making America energy independent and, in fact, energy dominant. He's making America a real business-friendly country. And so a lot of businesses are relocating, coming back to the United States. Donald Trump has secured the border. Donald Trump is enforcing our nation's immigration laws. Donald Trump is deporting criminal aliens. Donald Trump is signing peace deals. Donald Trump is renegotiating trade deals, ensuring fair trade. Donald Trump is strengthening our relationship with our international allies. He's doing everything that he said he would do. He stopped 8 wars. He's going to be stopping the 9th one soon. I know Ukraine, Russia has been a big challenge, but Trump's going to do it. He's going to bring peace in that region. And President Donald J. Trump, he has really brought people together. There are so many people who used to vote Democrats. They voted for Democrats their entire life, and now they're saying, we support Trump. A lot of Democrats, former Democrats, voted for Donald J. Trump in 2024. And President Trump, he had the big, beautiful bill, tax cuts, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and so many other great things. He's strengthening our military. President Donald J. Trump, with his leadership, he's going to be making the Golden Dome possible. The work has started. The Golden Dome missile defense system. So Donald Trump is doing everything that people want him to do. And he's got Republican allies in Congress. So what makes you say that the Democrats have strong base of support? They don't. Their base is eroding. More and more people are leaving the Democrat Party and joining the Republicans. It's the truth. It's real. It's happening, which is why going back to 2024, which is why Donald Trump won the popular vote and the Electoral College vote. Go back and look at the numbers. Lots of new names I can see. Make sure that you subscribe, my friends. Subscribe to stay connected, all right? Okay, Trevon is asking, why are you wearing a hat in the house? Well, this might look like a hat to you. You look at this, it's an object, right? It's a hat. Made in the USA, it's a hat. Why am I wearing a hat in the house? My friends, because it's more than a hat. It's a symbol of patriotism. It's a symbol of our commitment, our collective commitment to make America great again. It's more than a hat. It's a promise. It's a message to the world, to everyone who's watching. It's a message to you all that I'm committed to making America great again. President Trump is not alone. We are with him. He's got his Republican allies in Washington, in the House and the Senate. But we, the American people, are with him. This hat is a symbol. This hat is a promise. It's a commitment that we're always going to put America first. And so that's why I'm wearing this hat in the House. Brad, good to see you, Brad. Our friend Brad is here. All right. Great to see you all, my friends. Great to see you. I got 82 likes on this video already, which is wonderful. 82 likes. I appreciate that. All the support. You're all great. Paul is here. Paul is saying much love, MAGA Patriots. Yeah, MAGA Patriots. Frank is saying Trump 2020. I love that. Deborah is saying Trump 2028. Absolutely love it, Deborah. DSAR is saying, let's get to 100. Yeah, we got 18 more likes and we can get to 100. Is it possible? Can we get there? Terry Gilly is saying hat of hope. Yeah, this gives us a lot of hope that yes, we can win, and we are. All right. All right, my friends. So 1 hour, 11 minutes into the live stream. I think I'm going to wrap it up today. But I'm going to be back again with more videos and more live streams. So please stay connected. I would appreciate that very, very much. Stay connected, my friends. Subscribe, hit the like button. Unless you have questions for me, then I'll stay. If you have questions that you want to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to head out of this live stream. Terry, thank you, Terry. Galel is here. Galel, good to see you. All right. Thank you, my friends. I'm going to be back again very soon. I appreciate you all. Thanks for all your support. Okay. And let's wait and see what happens during this meeting, the Trump-MAMDANI meeting that will be taking place soon. Thank you all so very much, my friends. May God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration. May God bless the Republicans in Washington. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies. And may God bless freedom-loving people all over the world. With that, my friends, thank you all so very much. I'm going to be back again very soon with more videos and more live streams. So stay connected with me. And remember, together, we will make America great again. Thank you, my friends. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon.